Dear viewers, today we are going to discuss the concept of gradient. So, in order to understand the gradient, we will consider an example. For example, if you walk up to the hill, so when you walk up to the hill, you will rise as well as you will run. Let's suppose here is some person and this person walk up to the hill. So, more steeper is the hill, harder to climb. Less steeper is the hill, easy to climb. If we measure the steepness mathematically, this is called gradient. So when this person rise up to the hill or walk up to the hill, this person will be run, will cover the horizontal distance, which you can say run, and this person also cover the vertical distance, which is rise. And in order to find the gradient is actually the measure of the steepness of the hill. Gradient is the ratio of vertical distance to the horizontal distance. Horizontal distance. Or you can also see that gradient, sometimes also known as slope. So you can also say that gradient is actually the ratio of rise over run. For example, if we want to calculate the gradient in this example, so in this example, let's suppose the horizontal distance covered by the person is 100 meter and the vertical distance covered by the person is 20 meter. So the ratio of vertical distance to the horizontal distance is the gradient or rise over run. So this will be 20 divided by 100. And after simplification, the answer for this will be 0.2. This will be the gradient, or you can say that this is the slope. So now we will discuss how to find the gradient of a straight line in a graph. The concept remains same. Let's suppose we have a straight line graph in a coordinate grid and we want to find the gradient of this straight line graph. So in order to find the gradient of this straight line graph, we will consider any two random points on this straight line. Let's suppose the point A is x1, y1 and the point B is x2, y2. The formula to find the gradient of straight line is actually the difference of the distance between these 2 points along y coordinates, or you can say that the difference of the distance along y coordinate is y2 minus y1 over the difference of the distance between these 2 points along x coordinate, and this will be x2 minus x1. And graphically you can say that y2 minus y1 will be that distance and x2 minus x1 will be that distance. And you can also write down this as this distance is y2 minus y1, the difference of distance along y coordinates, and this distance is actually x2 minus x1. And this is the formula to find the gradient of a straight line in a graph. And this formula you can also write down as y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. The result remains same. You should keep in mind the order should be same. If you take y1 first, then you will take x1 also first. Now we will apply this formula on this example. As the point A and B on this graph we consider here the point A is 1, 4 and the point B is 4, 1. Let's suppose this point A is actually the point x1 and 5, 1. And the coordinate point of B is x2 and y2. So in order to find the gradient of this straight line, m will be equal to y2 minus y1 means 1 minus 4 over x2 minus x1, 4 minus 1. So 1 minus 4 will be minus 3 and 4 minus 1 will be 3. So minus 3 over 3, the gradient will be minus 1. The gradient here is negative because the graph is decreasing. It means that now you are not climbing up to the hill, you are moving down onto the hill. So when the straight line graph is increasing, then the gradient will be positive. So similarly, what will be the gradient of horizontal straight line and vertical straight line? This concept is also very important. If the line is horizontal straight line, if there is horizontal straight line, the gradient of horizontal straight line is 0. The reason is that because when you move horizontally along x-axis, you are not rising, you are not falling. It means that there is no rise, there is no fall, there is no steepness, and gradient is actually the measurement of steepness. So that's why the gradient of horizontal straight line is always 0. But if we have to find the gradient of vertical straight line, for the vertical straight line, only there is climbing, only there is rise, and there is no run. There is no horizontal distance. So the gradient of vertical straight line is infinite. So this is the concept of gradient, and exam oriented question related to the gradient will be discussed in the worksheet which will be uploaded soon. Thank you.